Hello, my beautiful, gorgeous ones. It's Kulipup here again, and what I wanted to do today was I wanted to do I always say I want to do a quick video, but it never ends up being quick. It always ends up being like 2 hours long. So we're going to try not to make this 2 hours long. We're going to try to make this one a decently quick one. So we're going to talk about the 7 crowns of existence. Hello, my sweet friend. And what are they? Because you're going to hear a lot of things where you have a lot of people go through, you know, my crown, my crown, my crown, my crown of glory. Do you have your cog yet? Do you have your crown yet? Aurora, hello, sweetheart. Nice to see you, sweetie pie. We're talking about the 7 crowns of glory today, sweetheart. And Megan, hi, sweetheart. Hi. Now, we have only a very small number of individuals. Hi, Stephen, sweetie. Hi. We have only a very small amount of individuals who have actually achieved their first crown of glory. But there are actually 6 other crowns that are achievable with a heck of a lot of hard work. But I wanted to go through those crowns just so we can kind of get an idea of what they are, like what's their purpose. When you gain your crown of glory, what does that actually mean? What do you do with it? And of course with the other crowns at the same time, just so you can kind of see where we're going here. Okay. So, and I wrote this down just so I can make sure I got everything in there as well. So let's go through your crown of glory, all right? Which is the most common crown that everybody can get. If you are a source fractal, okay, if you are a spirit, if you know who you are. Amishtal, hello, sweetheart. I know this one is for you. You've been looking for this very much. Love, you were in my dreams last night, Aurora. Oh, yes, I'm sure I was. I'm going to be in a lot of people's dreams over the next coming period because I'm training all of you as best we can whilst you're sleeping so that you can have triggers in the daytime to help wake you up during the day. Ever wake up and your ears are just ringing? You know, well, it's because you're getting upgrades, lady. But, yes, so I hope we did something fun in your dreams, sweetie. I really do. Okay, so please feel free to ask as many questions as you would like during this whole thing, as per usual, as well. But hopefully we'll get you some good information. So, first things first, the crown of glory. Now, this is the level 1 matrix game of life crown. Now, what does that? What is it? What does it do? Now, if you do want like a far more in-depth explanation on the first initial crown of glory, I do have a couple of videos on YouTube that you can already look at to explain a little bit more. But I'm just going to kind of go on a brief overview on that one because I have explained so much about it before. So, the crown of glory. Everybody can get it. If you are a source fractal or a spirit, you can gain a crown of glory. If you are a star seed or an entity, you cannot gain a crown of glory. It is only one for a source fractal, and that is because source fractals are the only players in this matrix game of life. Okay? And what do I mean by player? I mean that you are the only ones, source fractals are the only ones that actually experience the game of life from a place of not knowing who we are. Okay? It is our purpose. Our energy runs this whole universe. Okay, so when I say that it runs the whole universe, we are the only ones that literally generate power and generate energy. Entities, star seeds, which are entities anyway, they don't generate their own energy. They have to take energy. Okay? And source fractals are the only ones that generate it. So we are the ones that power this whole universe. So hence, we can be the ones that gain the crown of glory or the other crowns moving forward. So let's have a very quick, Stephen, please train me. Of course, sweetheart, that's what we're here for. Megan, you say, Kulipup, can I ask you an irrelevant question? My 11-month-old son has a high temperature. It's not a concern, but as he's so young, could it be to do with the new moon, or at their age does it not affect them? Children will be affected by the new moon. They will be. However, they don't process it the same way adults do. All right. The reason being is because their bodies haven't been damaged enough by programming, by poisons and so forth, because it takes a while to build these things up in your system. But yes, kids are definitely affected by the new moon. If your son had any sort of viruses or maybe bacteria or so forth that were already present in his system, then yes, the full moon with the energy increase, there will be a little bit of a purge going on. So again, the same thing, runny nose, itchy throats, aches and pains and so forth. That would be common. However, if he was kind of free of anything that was in his body anyway, it would be going out. Now, if you did get your baby vaccinated at all, then yes, the energy that went through with the new moon, I made requests to the universe, and one of those was to remove any harmful things that were in your body, and one of them was specifically for the vaccines, to remove the metals and filter out the aluminums, the agents that combine them to your blood and to your system. So I did have that removed, and so yes, don't worry. It will pass. He will feel okay as well. And I am making a healing video, a personal healing video as well, for those who just need, like if you need a quick doctor's visit, whether it be for yourself or your family or so forth, you can just pop that video on. So I'm going to be making that, if not later today, it'll be tomorrow. And then you can just kind of listen to that with your son there, and kind of get him a little bit extra going through there as well. So I hope that hurts. Sorry, I hope that helps, not hurts. Alrighty. Amishtal, you say, how did I gain the crowns I have? How do I use them, and how do I achieve the remaining 6? Yes, okay, so Amishtal, that is a great question, and this is exactly what we're going to go through today. So, but going through the first crown of glory, alright, so anybody can achieve this. Anybody who is a source fractal, you have to be part of the divine universal energy in order to gain a crown of glory, because you have to think your crown is your chakra points and so forth, your crown, and when you are activating your true crown chakra, because not many people can actually activate it, yes, it works and everything, but utilize what it is. That is when, only source fractals can do that. So anywho, so what does it mean? Like, what do you do with your crown of glory once you've achieved it? Well, it means that you can, at that point, align anything within your path. Okay? So for example, if you were originally born in to learn a lesson of, poverty, for example, what I mean by that is, let's say that in a past life you were really, really rich and you didn't learn a damn thing because of nepotism and because of, you just having everything you needed, so your lessons were bypassed. So you come into this life now and you are not born rich. You are born within a place of poverty. So you were never meant to have a lot of money because you were meant to learn a lesson of not having, right? So now when you achieve your crown of glory, now if that was what you were fated to do, and those were the lessons that were set in line for you, normally you can't do much about that. You can try your very best to manifest your way out of whatever it is, which is wonderful, which is encouraged, but it can take a lot of time depending on the lessons that you're trying to achieve, right? So when you have your crown of glory, it means that if you wanted, whatever you want basically is going to now align in your path. So if before you were meant to be in poverty and you get your crown of glory and you're just like, no, I want to manifest extreme amounts of wealth, then you can do that. And it means that as soon as you put that request in, and if you've done it correctly with your heart and your mind and your crown active, it means that a lot of wealth is going to be aligned within your path. Okay? And it has to happen, or it does happen. As long as you believe it to be so, it will come to pass. That is the power of your crown of glory. So if you are, you can see how powerful that would be, especially if your will is very strong. The stronger your will is, the stronger the spell within the crown of glory is, meaning the faster it manifests into your life. Now I have all 7 crowns, so things manifest for me very, very fast, but I also make a lot of wishes on a very, very grand and requests on a very grand scale. So if you are within your regular crown of glory and you make regular requests on a daily basis, then you'll find that they will happen faster and faster and faster and faster. right? So basically that is your crown of glory, and it allows you to manipulate time and space within your world. Okay, it is total control and manipulation of time, space-time, or time and space, or whatever, within your world. Okay, and within this Matrix Level 1 game of life. The Matrix Level 1 game of life is, of course, Earth. Earth and within this universe. So Earth and anything within this material. The other crowns are achieved in the ethereal, but we're going to go through that in just a second. So, let's read some of these questions. All right. Megan, you say, he has been vaccinated. Thank you so much for your help. Sorry for taking you off topic. Don't worry, Megan, sweetheart. When it pertains to children, I do like to address these, for sure. Amishtra, you say, by the way, just meeting my counterpart has had me so super happy all day, and I can feel the energy surging. It's so awesome. Right? But not only that, because, Jessica, meeting your other counterpart, especially in a male setting, triggers almost the balance of the male and the female energy, because you are Amishtal within a lot of female energy, and your male counterpart is Amishtal within his male energy. So it's really nice that you get to see the how it works, right? And not only that, he's an absolutely fantastic individual. You talk to him for a few more minutes and you're just like, you are so cool. So he's wonderful. Amishtal, you say, I prefer not to use my cog in that way, just only asking if I really need something. Amishtal, but this is it. You have your crown of glory. You should use it every single day, multiple times a day. Express your heart's desires, because your crown can only be activated when your heart and your mind are in unison. So if your heart and mind are in unison, then whatever spell that you try to put through is not going to go through anyway, right? An entity cannot use your crown of glory. So if you are actively using your crown of glory, it means that you are using this energy within love and light. If you are using it on a regular basis, and especially for mankind or other people and so forth, and you are aligning paths and you are doing good things, then you get a surge of energy back to you, which then overall increases everything going forward. So it's a wonderful thing. Stephen, you say, will you explain how to get the crown of glory on this video? I will. I'm going to touch on them. However, for the base crown of glory, I definitely recommend going to the videos that I have there, because I also have, once you achieve this level, you can, how to activate it, basically, as well. So we will, but I'm going to explain all of them going through, and I'm going to do my very best not to get off topic. All right. Okay, so that is your level 1 crown, all right? And again, anybody can achieve this. Anybody, if you are a source fractal, you can achieve this and basically manipulate time and space around you. So very, very, very powerful. And especially the more will you have, the stronger it becomes. All right? And the faster you see things just fall into place right there, because it aligns your path at a drastic rate. Okay. Now, so that's the level 1 crown of glory. Now, there are 6 other crowns. All right? Now, these crowns cannot be held by everybody. They are held by one individual, okay? They can be held only by one individual. If you have one individual who has collected all of those crowns, it means that you need to surpass this individual in order to gain this crown, okay? So the crown of glory, anybody can have it, because that is within yourself. That is your own acknowledgement of who you are. I know my name, I know my frequency, I know my vibration, I know who I am, I feel who I am, and my will is strong. So anybody can get that. But the crowns of existence, the other ones, well, you are only eligible to gain the other 6 crowns if you have achieved your crown of glory, because you have to be in knowledge and awareness of who you are in terms of your vibrational name. You have to drop your ego in order to be eligible for the other crowns. Now, the other crowns that you have, you do not have to be on a specific level above. You just have to literally be on or have your first crown of glory to achieve these. So whether you are in level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, or whatnot, at any point you can gain these crowns. All right? So you can be in level 2 and still gain your crown of truth. But you may not gain another crown you know, your crown of wisdom and knowledge until you're 5 levels up more, right? So it really does depend on you, your discovery, and what it is that you're doing. Okay, so Stephen, you ask, where are these videos located? They are located on my YouTube channel. So if you go on YouTube and you just type in Kulipup Source Truth, or you can type in Source Truth Crown of Glory, or I'll get the link and I'll post it on the page for you as well. So, but they are all located there. Megan, do you, in the YouTube video, go into more depth about each crown? I don't go into depth about each crown, Megan. I do go into depth about the crown of glory, because again, everybody can achieve that. This is the first video I'm actually doing based on the other 6 crowns, only because there's only like 6 people who would have a chance at even trying to get them in the world right now. So we're still waiting on more people to develop and get their crown of glory first. So this is the first time I'm doing this one. So Amistral, you say, well, I used it, of course. I just couldn't think of much. I needed a lot that I wanted, though. Yes. Here's the thing. When it comes to using your crown of glory, it is about what is in your heart and what is in with your mind. Your wants are in your mind. Your desires are in your heart. Your desires and your wants have to be on the same place, but our mind wants a lot of stuff that our heart doesn't. So this is the point of, you know, being eligible for these crowns. You have to have a still and silent mind. Megan, that's insane. Only 6 people in the world. Yes. Well, there's 7 people that have their crown of glory, but only 6 would now be eligible to challenge to try to get the other existing crowns. And trust me, if your crown of glory was that easy to get, there would be a hell of a lot more people that have it. Right? There would be a hell of a lot more people. We've been playing this game of life for millions of years now, and the 6 people that have achieved this crown of glory have achieved it literally since 2016. Okay, so this is a difficult thing to achieve. You have to master your mind. You have to know who you are, like I mentioned. But anywho, let's go into the other crowns. All right. So the other 6 crowns. So your first crown is the crown of glory. Your other 6 crowns, again, can be gained in any which way. However, the last crown, which will go at the very end, you would need to literally have all of the other crowns in order to gain the last crown as well. So the other crowns that we have the crown of infinite truth. Okay, infinite truth. So what does this signify? Well, it signifies a couple of things. In order to gain this crown, you need to speak truthfully. When I say speak truthfully, I mean your whole being has to be within truth. There's no lies. There's no white lies. There's no, you know, oh, I just lied a little bit. There's none of that. You have to live in truth, right? And you have to be very just in that sense. One of the main reasons why you cannot get your infinite crown of truth, if you are not, or if you are lying, is because truth is in the present moment. Okay? Truth is the present moment, because truth is positive energy. Light and love energy is only existent in the now moment. Anything in the past or anything in the future, oh no, that's negative energy. Future, because the future, your thoughts that are in the future, they're nothing but thoughts, right? They don't exist. If you are having thoughts that are of the past or from the past, those are memories, right? They don't exist, and they do not have any standing in the now moment, okay? So, sorry, I've got a piece of cat hair somewhere on my nose here, and I keep itching it. So basically, that is one of the reasons why you cannot gain this crown if you are constantly thinking in the future or constantly thinking in the past. Because if you are doing that, then of course you are creating your entities, your subconscious and conscious entities, who are leading your thoughts to the future or leading your thoughts to the past, and it's not going to work out with that. Now, also, if you have the infinite crown of truth, it also means that whatever you say is truth. Not only are you speaking truth, but whatever you say will become truth. All right? So that one's a little bit trickier. So let me explain a little bit about what that means. So if, for example, if no, I'm gonna start this in a different way. Time. Okay, I know this may seem like we're going a little off track here, but I want you to think of time. The existence of time is completely irrelevant. Time does not exist. The only thing that truly exists is this now moment. Right now is the only thing that exists. Okay? So, the past, the present, and the future all interact. They are all going on at the exact same time. Your future affects your past. Your past affects your present. Your present affects either one, depending on what it is, right? So, for example, if I'm in my now moment, okay, I'm in my now moment, and I am manifesting, let's say I'm manifesting a purple jacket. I don't know, I'm throwing whatever out there, you know. I'm trying to manifest a purple jacket, a royal purple jacket that I really, really, really wanted. Now, let's say I've created this in my mind, but the fabrics that I have for this jacket that I really, really want, because it's going to keep me really warm in the winter or whatever, right? The fabrics don't, they're not in existence, right? At this moment, they're not in existence because I'm the first person that has thought of this specific purple coat. So what's going to happen is now I'm manifesting it. Now, as a creator with my infinite crown of truth, right? I will now say that through my will, through my words, and I know this sounds unbelievable, but it's the bloody truth, right? Whether you believe it or not doesn't change the fact that it's the truth. So now if I were to say, I believe that this specific purple coat was created by butterfly caterpillar silk. I don't know, right? And it was dyed using flower petals, saffron flower petals or something like that. So what would happen, and let's say that there's this butterfly or this caterpillar doesn't actually exist for this specific time of purpose of this material. Because I've said it, and I've known that it was true in my heart that this exists, then what's going to happen is I'm going to change the past timelines so that it matches up with this timeline so that my coat now exists in the future. So I've just changed the past in order to affect my future, or to affect my now moment, so I can manifest this purple coat. Now, I've used a purple coat as an example. I have used a purple coat. Clearly, there are far more important things to manifest, but I hope that at least explained a little bit about how your past affects your future. So that is basically what happens with your crown of infinite truth. Whatever you say, whatever you speak, when it is in your heart, it will be truth. So that is why you have to be very, very careful when you are speaking, when you have your crown of infinite truth. Now, Amish Charlie, you say that's explaining all of my timeline jumping. Well, yes, it can explain a lot of things. It can explain a lot of things, but you do have to have an in-depth knowledge of where you're going. So, for example, Amish Charlie, if you can remember, there was a time that I was on a live and you mentioned something about green being a color of not love or something like that. And the thing is, I was reading it out, and as I was reading it, because I do have the infinite crown of truth, I knew that if I read this out loud and I believed it without thinking about it too much or anything like that, then that would have solidified in truth that green was not a color of love. Right? So that's why during that video I had to backtrack and I said, no, we gotta cancel that out. I had to use a word to cancel that out in order to ensure that I wasn't using my crown to alter something that is already in truth. So you have to be incredibly careful and aware of what you're saying when you have this crown. Alexander, you say, how would you explain the crown of Anu, crown of all? To be honest, hello, Cecile. Hello, Susan, by the way. To be honest with you, Alexander, I'm going to be explaining the crowns of literal glory and all of these. Now, the crown of all you can call it, if you wanted to call the crown of Anu, it can be labeled in different ways, but it is called the infinite crown of glory if you are going through source or finding the information through your source, your heart, your source energy. So, but there's going to be a lot of names for all of these different crowns that you are going to find. You know, please remember, everybody, that this information is not information that is found on Google. All right? This information I'm giving you today cannot be found on Google. It is not found in books. It is not found in history. All right? One of the main reasons it is not found in books and not found in history is because you need to find this information where it is only in truth, which is within your heart and within your energy. Okay? So now don't get me wrong. There's going to be a lot of falsities. There's going to be a lot of things, rabbit holes to lead you down in the right direction. But the ultimate truth of any crown that you're going to find is going to be right here, right? So you can take the little breadcrumb trail, but the breadcrumb trail is always going to lead you to the house with the witch. So what you need to do is, when you're finding information online, follow the breadcrumb trail, but see the house and go, oh, I know what's waiting inside for me. So I'm literally just going to run up to the house, take off a big chunk, and get the hell out of Dodge. And I'm not going to see that witch and get trapped in that hole, right? So, so I'll just pop that there on that one. Susan, yeah, no worries, Susan. You haven't missed too much. We've only been through the first two crowns. So that is your infinite crown of truth. Okay, the next crown that you are able to achieve is the infinite crown of wisdom and knowledge, okay? Or knowledge and wisdom, because, you know, you got knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge first, and then you have the wisdom on how to use that knowledge. Okay, so what does the crown of infinite knowledge and wisdom do? What does that actually mean? Well, when you have this crown of infinite knowledge and wisdom, it means that you basically have access to every single thing. Every single piece of information within the level of our existence. And I'm not talking about the level of existence within just our bodies, okay? Within our avatars, within our frequency. I'm talking about the level of the infinite knowledge and wisdom that is of creation in itself, okay? So I'll give you an example. If you have this crown of infinite knowledge and wisdom, what that means is that whatever you want to create, right? Whatever you want to create will be created, and you will have the understanding of it as well, because you have access to everything. So, for example, if I wanted to create, a replica of this lip gloss, right? But I wanted to create it out of thin air, and maybe I wanted to make it a little bit different. I wanted to create something completely brand new, but either way it looks like this little bit of lip gloss. Now, what will happen is, in order for me to do this, right? And please understand that when you have this crown of infinite knowledge and wisdom, you're not just creating lip gloss, okay? That you're creating cosmos at that time. You're literally evolving our entire being as a vessel, not in this dimension, but as in who we all truly are. But anyway, so whatever I wanted to create. So if I wanted to create this, it means that I would have to think about it. So using my knowledge as to what it is that I want to create. All right. Then the wisdom is going to automatically be felt and come through. It is felt primarily. Okay. So when I say it's felt, I mean, if I need 3 wards, 5 different codes of ancient geometry, physics, math, and so forth, in order to conjure and manifest and create this lip gloss, then literally that information is given to me, or that you automatically have the information, and not only that, you understand it at the same time. So just imagine what you would do with that. You know, if I wanted to build a rocket and I don't know how to build a rocket, all I'd have to do is use my crown of infinite knowledge and wisdom to literally build it. All I'd have to do is focus my attention on, I want a rocket. I want to know how to build a rocket. And then literally everything comes together. My energy, my within this crown, like it wields the energy, puts everything together in order to create what it is I wanted to create. All right? Not only that, it gives you complete access to the entire vessel of all bits of knowledge and wisdom ever to be created anywhere, not just in this universe, but outside of this universe, in source, in the seven heavens, and throughout and beyond. Right? It literally means that you have access to absolutely every piece of this information if only you choose to focus on it. And then comes the understanding that to go with it. Right? That's why, you know, if you ask me a lot of questions, and you know, this is why I say to everybody, I'm like, ask me any question. It doesn't matter what it is. Ask me a question and I'll give you an answer. Right? Don't get me wrong. If you're asking a silly question and it's not to your benefit, I'm not going to answer you. But that doesn't mean I can't answer it. I don't know the answer. It just means that I refuse to answer. You know? So we're going to do that. So that is basically your crown of infinite wisdom and knowledge. Now, how do you gain this crown? You have to literally be on your ish. You have to take so much information from so many different places, and you have to learn how to utilize this information. Not only is it the information of the outside world, it's the information of the internal world. Decoding and deducing what it is you are seeing, the geometry that you are seeing, like what is it there for, why, and each time you do this, you are triggering more of your consciousness to expand and take in this information. And when you reach a certain level of energy as well, that is when you are eligible for your crown of infinite wisdom and knowledge, or infinite knowledge and wisdom as well. So it's like realizing you're the brain of the operation, right? And it's like, oh wow, I'm a brain, I'm a computer, I can do everything, right? So that's what we're going on there. Susan, you say, Kulipup, how close am I to this crown of glory? Felt the need to ask, sorry, I understand I've missed this one. I will reply, yeah, no worries. Now, Susan, I'm not going to answer that just because it is specific to yourself, because if I answer that for you, I'm going to have to answer it for everybody. And I don't have the time to do that for you specifically. However, what I can say, though, is once you've achieved a physical frequency of 11 or more, you are eligible to get your crown. You have enough energy to gain your crown. How close you are to achieving it depends totally on you and what it is, the steps that you are taking to take care of yourself, the steps you are taking to discover more of yourself. Because once you hit the correct energy level, it is literally all about you and your own development. You can only gain your crown of glory if you know who you are, if you feel who you are, you understand who you are, right? So these are this is what we have. Okay, so that is, those are your two crowns there. Now, the next crown that we have is the crown of infinite peace and serenity. All right? Infinite peace and serenity. Now, what this does is it signifies the ability to basically calm any storm or friction within the supreme vessel. Okay? And when I say within the supreme vessel, I want you to think of you are a source fractal, which is equivalent to saying that you are a skin cell within the body of a vessel of a God. All right? That is what basically a fractalized piece is, because, again, this body, this vessel of a God, is the universal energy that is our entire existence. Just the same way, if you are a skin cell or a heart cell or a liver cell, or I don't know, part of a muscle cell or anything like that, you are literally a part of the body that makes up your avatar, right? You are not your avatar, but you are a piece, a small piece that makes up that part of who you are. Anyway, I'm rambling. So anyway, you are a fractalized piece. So when you have your crown of infinite peace and serenity, it means that if there is any type of dismay, like we were saying, friction, whether that be mentally or physically, it doesn't matter. You have the ability to calm it back down and bring it back to a status of peace. So, for example, I'll use the analogy within your body. Let's say you have a lot of dis-ease within your cells. Lots and lots of dis-ease within your cells. And it just keeps on expanding and expanding and expanding, and you don't know what to do because you don't know how to calm that storm. You'll find that it'll just get out of control until whatever it is that's eating you just continues on to eat you, right? Or the disease just continues to go rolling over and over and over again. However, again, I want you guys to think of this on a very, very grand scale. So, for example, if you have the crown of infinite peace and serenity, you would be able to literally ensure that there is peace and serenity wherever you go. Wherever you go, whatever you do, for whatever you put your focus on, peace and serenity will come to that heart, that mind, that individual, that place, that galaxy, that whatever it is, whatever your energy is focusing on, peace and serenity will come to it. All right? Because it's like when you use this, it's like a wave of calm or a wave of soothing just goes through absolutely everything. Now, why is this so important? Well, think about it in nature, right? Nature is our now moment. Nature is our present love energy. Everything that is within a natural status is, of course, love. That it is that love energy. It runs off love energy and it's created from love energy. And what happens when there's tornadoes, when there's typhoons, when there's earthquakes, right? Think of all of this destruction. It doesn't continue to happen because the earth will naturally have everything fall back into place. You know, if there's a monsoon here, okay, well, the earth's going to be like, well, there was a monsoon. All of these plants aren't going to die. They're simply, we're going to make them water plants instead. Or water plants will grow there to absorb more of the water or whatever happens to balance it out, right? So peace and serenity, balance. That is what that crown is for. So let's have a look here. Amishtal, you say, aha, now I know a good job for my male avatar. Oh, bless you, don't put him to work already. Sorry, excuse me, I'm still getting a little bit of this out of here. Sorry, you guys. I'm sure I would have done much better with getting all of this cleared out if I would put down my cannabis, but I'm like, screw it, I love my cannabis, this is happening. Okay, Alexander, I am, I do, I feel, I love, I speak, I see, I understand all that I am, for I am all that I am. That is beautiful. That is beautiful, my dear. Amishtal, I have a job now for all my avatars. Yeah, you say that, but again, it's a lot harder than you think. It's a lot harder than you think. So anywho, that is your infinite crown of peace and serenity. And hi, Virgin sweetheart. The next crown that we have is the infinite crown of heart. Oh, one moment, please. I'm getting spoken to. Oh, I know that, sweetheart. I totally know that. Don't worry, that was a conversation that I may share with you a little bit later, because it's yeah, I need to explain the other parts of this before that I can explain that physical conversation that I just had, because otherwise you'll be like, what the shit is she talking about? Virgin, am I even close to the crown? Virgin, you still have a little ways to go, my sweetheart, but do not worry, we're all going to get there. We are all going to get there, sweetheart. And we just got to have a little bit more guidance. But I'm not going to go off track. And I'm really trying not to be too personal with each and everybody. Because again, it just means I have to do every single person. So Virgin, stay with me on that one. Okay, so you have the crown of infinite heart. Okay, infinite heart. So what does that actually mean? All right. When you gain the crown of infinite heart, it means that you are literally the heart of all living things. That is all mankind, that is all things that are within your energy, that are within the love energy, you now have control of. Okay, you are the heart of all hearts. The spirit, so when I say heart, that is another term I use for your spirit guide, your all these kind of bits and pieces, right? Now, I have the crown of infinite heart, all right? So what does that mean? Because you know when I'm always saying that I am you, you are me, we are one. My heart is your heart. I have an ethereal connection, a very, very strong one to each and every one of you in your hearts. When I say that my energy surrounds you constantly, all you must do is speak my name and make a request and I will help you. Well, that is because I have the crown of infinite heart. So, for example, if you are a source fractal, it means that basically my will of my own heart will overpower your will within your heart, in your vessel. So if you are, especially if I put my focus on you, all right, so what's the best way to think? So, for example, if you're going through a really rough time and you've found me, I regularly put out there within my will that all those who need me, find me. Any heart that is in distress, any heart that needs my words, anybody who needs me, they will find me. And that is why I will randomly pop up in your life somehow. Randomly. That is because my energy is being wielded to draw you to me, or for our paths to align, because I've put out a summons for them. Now, if you need me, it means that you need healing. So if you need healing, that's why I say, hey, all you got to do is call my name out. Because if you require healing and your heart is not at the place of healing, well, then you'll find me. And then my direct focus on you will trigger your own heart, and my will override yours. I know that sounds a little bit dodgy in a way, but you can't get your crown of infinite heart unless you are within infinite love. All right? So anything I do with this crown is done with love, otherwise it does not activate. So when I say my will overtake yours, it basically means that if you need healing and your thoughts are keeping yourself ill and keeping yourself sick, what I will do is I will redirect your energy being your heart, or I will kind of turn that light switch on and just be like, okay, well, I'm driving this ship now. I'm driving and we're going to drive it towards healing. I'm going to steer you back on track. And then when you are back on track, that's when I'm like, okay, I'm going to give you back the wheel, and away you go. This is how we do this accelerating healing. This is why when you watch me with my healing videos, my whole aura may go green. And it's because I am literally connecting to your hearts in order to heal you and activate that part of my crown. Right? And that's why we get the tingles and the bits and pieces and all of everything wants to come together. So, sorry, one moment, I'm still being spoken to. I know that. I will totally get to that at the end, though. Okay. It's like, yes, but I just wanted to remind you now. And I'm like, that's fine. I'll totally get to that at the end. Hi, Lucy, sweetheart. Amishtal, I know. I also know I can do it when I focus, and I intend to. Yes, definitely. Especially Amishtal, like, once you gain your crown of glory, anything you wield within your world definitely happens. These other crowns that I'm speaking of does not mean that you cannot be, like, you're not totally advanced in each one of these topics that I'm speaking of, nor does it mean that you do not have the ability to do everything that I would be able to do in somebody else's vessel or anything like that. But to get this crown specifically means that you are in the prime position, right? So the same way where you have a family and you are in charge of your kids, you don't own your kids, but you are in charge. They are your charges. They are in your care. So when they need you, you are there, right? To help and guide them. However, otherwise you're just like, go live your life, do what you're doing, and just call on me when you need me. So anyway, it just means when you have that infinite crown, it just means that your will override the one that has the lesser energy going through. Okay, so Alexander, Council of Avatars exist for me to work on multiple levels. Alexander, you're probably not getting Amishtal exactly in terms of exactly what we mean. Amishtal is not talking about a council of avatars or whether it exists. Amishtal is simply talking about the multiple avatars that you are playing the game of life in. If you are a senior spirit, you have enough energy to fractalize your own fractaled energy. And the more you fractalize and the more times you are playing in this game of life at any one time, in any one timeline with it, which is within an 11-year period, it means that you're just like playing multiple games. And a lot of people, sometimes they do meet their other avatar and they just don't know that because they're not aware, they're not awake. And other times you are drawn together. And sometimes you don't even see each other at all, depending on what game you're playing, right? So, or where you're playing your game. So just putting that in there as food for thought as well. Oh, thank you, Susan. I do my very, very best. Stephen, this sounds epic. It is. It's a wonderful, it's a crazy experience to go through. And the knowledge, once you achieve it and once you practice it and put it into use and you see the results that are going through, you're just like, my whole life was a lie. This whole entire freaking time. Anyway, Alexander, no, to me I work with multiple avatars and work on multiple realms all at the same time. Hey, cool. If you know your avatars, that's cool. I thought you meant like there's a specific council or anything, but you know, each their own. Whatever floats your boat, my dear. Whatever's going through, then that's cool too. Yeah, we were just talking about like literally like male counterparts versus female counterparts versus other ones, but it's still your own soul, your own spirit, just literally fractalized into a bunch of different things. But anyways, okay, so that's basically your crown of infinite heart going through. Now you have your crown of infinite consciousness. So what does that mean? Well, it works the same way as the heart, except for it is within the mind. So when you have the crown of infinite consciousness, it means that you are the supreme consciousness of everything that is within the now moment and the love energy. So, for example, if you have the crown of supreme consciousness, it means that the spirit of Mother Nature, for example, is you. You are now Mother Nature. You are now Father Sun. You are now Mother Earth. You are the consciousness that controls the specific energy points for all of these different frequencies. So when you are the supreme consciousness, again, same thing where, you know, your heart can take over the feelings and emotions. This is why if I wanted to very much so empathize with any specific individual, I can make you feel a lot of things. I can make you feel lovely feelings of love, of joy, of those beautiful tingles in your heart when I touch your shoulder with my energy, right? I can open up your, open up a lot of places within inside of you. I can cleanse your heart. I can clean your energy in your body. Now, with the crown of infinite consciousness, it means that basically, again, I override things. That is my son there. I'm trying to put this in a way that doesn't make it seem like I'm taking away your free will, because I will never take away anybody's free will. Because I can't. Well, I can, but I don't want to. It's a dire consequence for me. It costs me a hell of a lot of energy, and I don't want to do it. However, when you have the crown of supreme consciousness, it literally just means that you can go so very much further into absolutely everything that is not just you. So, here it is. When you have the crown of supreme consciousness, you are the driver of whatever car in existence that there is. So like I said, not only could I pop into your vehicle, your avatar, and take over your consciousness if I needed to. I could, like I mentioned, pop into the consciousness of Mother Earth to heal Mother Earth from the inside out. I could pop into the consciousness of all of the plants, all the living organisms and beings. I can tap into their consciousness and I can reprogram them. For example, if Shayla is being, and I did this quite often, if Shayla is being rather annoying, let's say she's meowing a lot, or she's, you know, all over you or anything like that, I will go into her consciousness and I will reprogram her. And I will say no. And then instantly at that point, she will then stop the severe clawing and sit down and wait for me to finish my work, right? But again, I don't like to do that because that is interfering with the flow of energy and the flow of the universe, and I don't want to do that, but I can if I need to, right? And that's what you get when you are the when you have the crown of infinite consciousness. Okay, now the infinite crown of glory. Okay, what does this mean? This is the last crown. This is the last crown that can be achieved. Now, the infinite crown of glory is the complete and utter mastery and control of the entire God vessel. Again, if the seven heavens are within one universal energy, you can call that universal energy the vessel, right? The same way, I want you to think of the same way we have our hands and feet and legs and everything right now, that the way you're seeing me now. Now I want you to think the same being, but in complete and utter light, and bigger, and you're now just a little skin cell, and it is the entire body, right? But just made up of light energy, all light energy. So when you have the infinite crown of glory, it is when you are completely aware of this, you feel this, you understand it, you know it, and you can only get this infinite crown of glory if you have the infinite crown of truth, wisdom, and knowledge, peace and serenity, heart and consciousness. That is the only way you are able to gain the infinite crown of glory. It is like literally connecting all of your chakra points in your own vessel, right? You cannot balance your chakra points unless you are in aware and knowledge of them, and you can do so. The infinite crown of glory, again, you can only get this if you have all of these infinite crowns. Now, like I mentioned, only one individual can hold these crowns at a time. I'm not trying to be big-headed here, but I hold all of these crowns because I have the infinite crown of glory. Now, when you achieve the infinite crown of glory, it is literally, it combines all of your crowns into one. Alright? So kind of the same way your chakra is not your chakra points. Alright? Your chakra is your universal energy, your chi, your life force, your kundalini. Alright? Everything that keeps you alive and your energy flowing through you. Your infinite crown of glory means that you have basically control over everything that is within you. Everything. Now, let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. Okay, I don't know why I don't get notified when you go live. Probably because I just jumped on here really quickly today. Okay, so that was probably it. But if you do want to get... I don't know how you can follow me specifically on Facebook through the group or whatnot. To be honest, I cannot be bothered to look into that. But there we go. I'll try to be a little bit more... giving more notice when I go live, my sweetheart, but I will try. Okay, Alexander, I call it a council of avatars, so I better understand all sides of who I am, but work as one. Yay! Hey, no, that's cool. That is totally cool. If you want to call it your council, that's awesome. I just call it me because I can't be bothered. Oh, Amishtal, yay, I have that crown. Woot! The infinite crown, I have to be very honest with you, Amishtal, there. You don't have that crown. The reason why you don't have that crown is because I've gained that crown. And the reason why I know I still have that crown is because Amishtal has not challenged me. Your spirit has literally not challenged me. If you knew, you would feel it. If Amishtal challenged me, you would definitely feel it. You would feel an incredible... Sorry. He was chiming in there. I'm not going to tell you what he said there. But you would feel it. You would feel it, and you would know. It's not something that can be overlooked in terms of the feeling. Now, and not only that, but when you achieve the infinite crowns, you are in complete mastery of all. Now, if you have achieved all of the infinite crowns, you know, which the infinite crowns are the supreme crowns, right? There comes a certain responsibility with that. Yes, yes, thank you. I'm like, Kulipup, you become you. And I'm like, yes, I know. If you are able to achieve these infinite crowns, if you are able to take them away from me and achieve them, for one, it means that you have to be higher energy than I am. All right? You have to be higher energy than I am. You have to, of course, the responsibility of following your flow and following your guide and processing this amount of energy, because you cannot achieve these crowns until you are able to command the energy of at least the entire world, at minimum the entire world. And you know when you're commanding that kind of energy. You totally know when you're commanding that energy, because what you do, what you say happens. Not only that, but the physical changes within your body. One of the clauses of me having all of these crowns is the fact that if I go against my own flow, it's an immediate effect. It is an immediate effect within, like, if I think instantly, I create what I think about. Like, and it comes up very, very fast. All right? So if I am being manipulated by an entity, if I am not fully trusting every single thing I say in my truth, if I am not deducing every single thing I am thinking about, then speaking about, and knowing how I'm speaking within it, what is within my heart and what is in my mind as I'm speaking it. You know, what words am I putting together to create the desired effect, right? So for one, you have to have incredible control. Two, then you become the supreme and prime consciousness with your crown of glory, right? And of course with the infinite heart too, meaning that your energy literally will surround every living thing, every human, every plant, animal, every being within mankind. Right? This is one of the reasons why I can say, call on me. Just simply say my name, say Kulipup, and I will be around you. Right? Because I have these crowns and because I'm wielding this energy. So it's one of those things. Now, hey, don't get me wrong though. Don't get me wrong. I do want to say I actively encourage anybody to challenge me on these crowns. Since it can only be held by one, I actively recommend it. You know, because at the end of the day, if you are in a place where you have, one, gained more energy than me, and you are now challenging me for this crown, and you are actually putting me through the loop, you know, where I am actually being challenged and you are overtaking my consciousness, then you deserve to be in that position, because it means that you are developing and you are propelling the evolution of not only mankind, but of us as a being, us as a universal energy, us as a God. That is one of the responsibilities. It's another thing that I can't learn from anybody else. I have the infinite crown of wisdom and knowledge. I can't learn from anybody else. I can't Google things and figure them out. I can't take others' information from it. Like, I cannot take the words of others. I can't. It's literally part of the clause of being within this status. So it is considerable amount of truth and trust and so forth that goes within your words and the will behind it. So it's very, very, very difficult. But I don't want to say it's difficult, but it's a lot of responsibility. Not only that, but with this energy and so forth, I have to make sure I am following my flow, so I am online with all of the dimensional shifts and so forth, bringing the energy from the third dimension over to the fourth, now that the third is gone. And this is why within the next 4 years, we're getting rid of the fourth dimension as well. But to do this, it means you need a sugar load of energy. And you have to be able to place your pieces on the battlefield too. Understanding your opponent and playing the game for the universe. You guys are playing the game of chess for your world, for the world that you are creating. I'm playing the game of chess for the universe, so that we can get out of this freaking mess and get this harvest completed too. Okay, let's have a look here. Orke, you say, I'm tuning in late, but how do we get any of these crowns? How do we know the steps we need to take to get any of these crowns? Well, okay, my sweetheart, it all starts from gaining your first initial crown of glory. You need to know how to manipulate time and space. You need to know about yourself. You need to know and be aware of yourself to a very large degree. Now, after that, it is all about discovery. Wherever your mind is taking you, the more you are following your flow, the more you are going to be led to these crowns. If your goal is to get these crowns, you also have to accept the responsibility that comes with the crowns. All right? If you are accepting the responsibility that comes with the crowns, it means that you will literally be bound by the consequences of that too. And like I say, one of the other consequences is that I need to be in nature. So I can't live within 4 walls anymore. I can't do it. Right? I've done it for 32 years of my life. I can't do it anymore. Because literally it makes me sick. It makes me ill to be within this structure. Right? So goodbye walls, plumbing, and everything like that. I can't do it. So those kind of things. How you actually get the crowns themselves, I will help anybody get their first initial crown of glory. If you want to get the infinite crown of truth, wisdom, knowledge, peace, serenity, heart, and consciousness, and finally your infinite crown of glory, you are going to need to find the ways to get those yourself. Now, you are also going to need to know how to verify them and use them and speak to them. Because once you gain your crown, it is literally like having a Jarvis. If you've ever watched Iron Man, you know, and he's got Jarvis in his head, that is what your crown is like. You speak to your crown, you speak to your desires, you make a request, and you get guided through those requests. Right? So it's an amazing experience. But it takes some very deep self-discovery. Very, very deep. Amistral, you say not the supreme, not the infinite, so I should have been more specific. I was saying I have supreme, not infinite. Yes, supreme, infinite, tomato, tomato on this one. Only one can still hold that. So to be the supreme or to be the infinite. To be the supreme means you are, of course, the prime, the one on the top. To be infinite is to be infinite, right? So I am, because your soul, your spirit is already infinite. You know, you will live forever as long as you want to, as long as you choose not to be dissolved. However, to be supreme is the one where you are in control, basically. You know, it's really funny. When you're in control, you don't want to be in control. Yeah, you can govern everybody, you can dictate through energy, and you can make people feel a lot of things, but you don't want to. You're just like, I don't want to. I don't want to be responsible for anybody's personal life or anything like that. I want to guide you to it, but I don't want to, you know, go on that. So, there we go. Okay, do I need to get any of the 7 crowns before I'm able to become a master spellcaster and master healer? Or do I get that crown once I become a master spellcaster or master healer? Do they go together? Not at all. Okay, that is a fantastic question. Absolutely fantastic. You don't need to get any of these crowns, any of the other 6 crowns you don't need to get. By all means, aspire to live in truth. Aspire to have wisdom and knowledge and use it correctly. Aspire to always have peace and serenity and be within your heart and be within your consciousness. Always aspire for these things, but you don't actually have to get the infinite crown of peace and serenity and so forth, right? You don't have to do that. Like, for example, Master Lucaust was one of the first individuals that I woke up and who gained their crown. Now, I was always asking, I was like, Lucaust, you're gaining so much energy, and this is when we were in the lower things, and I was like, Lucaust, like, oh, are you going to challenge me? Like, are we going to do that? And to be honest, Lucaust was like, no, I don't want to. I really don't want that response. I'm happy with you doing that stuff, and I'm happy with just doing what I want to do, right? Without the responsibility. So, still, he has a lot of responsibilities. I'm definitely not trying to take anything away from Master Lucaust, because she is off healing everybody. There's more and more requests are coming to her, and so forth. So I'm definitely not trying to say that, but, like, shoot, you know, you want to run the company, or do you just want to, you know, be in management kind of thing? And I'm sorry. So that is basically what that was. But anyway, so no, okay, you don't need any of these crowns. You don't even, like, I would always say, go for your crown of glory, your one within your own self. That is something definitely to go for, because it increases your power exponentially as to what you can do manipulating time and space. However, to be a master spellcaster, you just simply need to understand fluently what it is you are doing when it comes to spell casting, right? Because it's not, see, here's the funny thing, right? Being a master doesn't always necessarily mean that you have done something a quadrillion million times over and over, although yes, a lot of masters have done that. It simply means that you have true understanding of what it is you're doing, right? You have true understanding. You know what you're doing, right? Just the same way that when I go to make toast, I know what I'm doing when I'm buttering that bread, because I know the result that I want. So you can call me a master at making toast, because I understand the process of pushing that button down at the exact right temperature to get the exact right golden toast. So I'm a master at making toast, because I truly understand. To become a master spellcaster, you need to understand your words. You need to understand your words. You need to understand how you're saying them, what loopholes can be put in there. You need to, it's like programming a computer. You need to know all the ones and zeros so the command can go through. When you understand that fully, you can be a master spellcaster. To understand that fully, it takes years of experience, though. A lot of failures, but a lot of success. To be a master healer, it is the same thing. You just simply need to understand the command of your own energy. And again, it takes a while to become a master, because it takes a while to gain this understanding. But once you do have it, bang, you're off. And it's wonderful. Now, and then you say, or do I get that crown once I become a master spellcaster or master healer? No. Gaining all of these crowns are things that come to you once you achieve a certain level of frequency. There are some crowns that you need to be anointed with, and you need to be crowned for it. So, for example, the crown of heart, the infinite crown of heart, I did not just come into that. I was given it, right? That crown was placed upon my head by all of the spirits. Isn't that wonderful? All of your spirits. If you want to ask them, if you can ask them, you can. You can do so. But it was when I was gaining so much energy and I was purifying my heart of lies, deceit, fear, everything. Once my heart became to a point of purity and clarity, right? It was told to me, Kulipup, you are my heart. And a bunch of other spirits agreed, and it was literally where I was told to, you need to sit, bow, put your head down, feeling the crown go on my head, rising, and then making a speech afterwards through my energy and through my consciousness to all of your spirits around there, accepting the role as being your heart. So it's not something that was just, like, oh, I'm deciding that I'm your heart. No. It had to be a consent as well that was given. So I hope that helps. Stephen, I want that crown of glory. I hope so. Use it, because it is amazing. And it is true. A lot of new people who get their crown don't utilize their crown enough. Don't utilize it. And I was one of those people. Lipup is definitely one of those people. He doesn't utilize his crown enough. But I started out like that. When I first got my crown of glory, just the base level one, I didn't use it as much until I was told that I need to make wishes every single day, and I need to make a minimum of 5 every single day, for mankind, for myself, for my flow, and just for whatever it is that I wanted in life. And I had to get into the process of using it so I could learn the feelings, the activation of what it is that is required of me when using it. So yes, please definitely always pursue the crown of glory. Amistral, you say, methinks it's time to apply the hex editor to this matrix. Yes. You can, by all means, you definitely can edit out things that you're manifesting, but I think I explained that as well in another video. But I will be doing more more of that in depth when I do more warding. But I need more people to understand more of warding first, right? Otherwise, it's like, what are we doing? Alexander, challenge paper sent. LOL. Oh, Alexander, sweetheart. Yes, by all means, I will let people know though. Amishtal, you say, I know I'm ready. Ready to challenge yet? Or not ready. Yeah, no, there is a clause. If you want to challenge me, this is one of the things, because as I gained these crowns, I had a lot of challengers in the beginning. But to be honest with you, it was more of a nuisance than it was a real challenge for me, right? Because I'm very, very hard to get into over here for you to take over my consciousness in the first place. So I had a lot of challengers, and I kind of got a little bit, not annoyed, but I'm just like, okay, we're doing this again. I want to go develop. I have other things to do. Because each challenger that came up to me, because only a source fractal can challenge me for this infinite crown of glory. You have to be within the universal energy, right? So your spirit has to come up and challenge me, okay? And oftentimes, if it's a source fractal, because we are all love, I will sit here and I'll just be like, all right, do your worst. You know, give it a go. Sorry, you guys. Not enough air in the lungs. So anyway, I will sit here and I will wait for the challenge. However, because it was inhibiting me, because I was being stopped from doing what it was I wanted to do, because each time you have a challenge, you're like, okay, all right, come on, hi, how are you? What's your name? You're going to challenge me today? All right, that's cool. I got annoyed with it. So there is currently a spell in place that if you challenge me, I am welcome and I'm happy for any challenge. But you have to be serious with it. Because if you challenge me and you fail in this challenge, then I will banish you from my presence. Meaning that you will no longer have my assistance or my guidance, and you will be literally fending for yourself out there. And that is literally just so that I can be like, look, you have to be serious on this one. Right? Because my flow is incredibly important. Me following the flow of the universal energy, because I can't afford to block any of it. There's no blockages up in here. Right? No blockages. Because if I have a blockage within my energy with having the infinite crowns, it means that you will have a block in your energy. Right? If I am feeling in a place of despair or sadness or sickness or just... if I'm not feeling very good, I can guarantee you're going to have a really shitty day, right? You're going to have a very, very shitty day. So if I'm having a continual amount of individuals challenging me, and I have to stop my flow for that, I do get annoyed. And if I get annoyed, it means I have to stop it, so I'm not blocked. So with that in mind, it's like, great, come on, challenges, but if you fail, you're going to be exiled, basically, from my presence and from that. Now, your spirit definitely doesn't want that. Because at the moment, your spirit, when they come into my energy, it is like a walking orgasm. And it is absolutely wonderful, not just in a sexual way, but in a severe, that's just an uplift of love and just joy and just of peace. So a lot of the spirits that are around are just like, nope, that's fine, I'm not ready for it. And that's absolutely cool. But if you are ready, just please bear that in mind. Okay, bear that in mind, because that part's not going to change. I love absolutely everybody, but I can't change that because I can't block that flow. So, okay, you say, that's a big responsibility to have all crowns. I will rewatch the live to learn about the crown of glory and its responsibilities. Yeah, it is a sugar load of responsibility. And not only that, but you will also, if you have all of the other crowns, you will also be responsible for teaching all of the subsequent souls and fractals all of the new things of our development. Right? That is why I'm a teacher. And this is why I do this as it is my purpose. I have to teach you guys because it is part of the clause of having these crowns and being within this position. So you got to teach. And in order to teach, you have to further develop. You constantly have to develop. It is a constant thing, a daily thing. If I find that my heart gets into a place of contentment, meaning that all of my requests have been fulfilled, I need to actively sit down and take a moment to create other things. I have to constantly be developing. So it can be very tiring at the same time. But it's something that I was happy to do and happy to accept. And again, it was one thing that I had to accept at the same time. Before I was even eligible to get my crown of glory. I was approached, and I had to, because of who my energy is in the first place, I was approached, and I had to accept the responsibility prior to being able to gain any of this power that I have. So it's kind of like, well, shit, but I was happy to accept it, though, because it's in my nature anyway. Amishal, well, you had said that in a comment to me when I asked about Nibiru, so I may have misunderstood. I forget in which context that was, my sweetheart. Give me the context of that, because I forgot where we were. Please and thank you. Okay, does the word dissolved mean our soul doesn't come back to live another life? Yeah, so, okay, what I mean by your energy gets dissolved, so your physical frequency, right? Your physical frequency, as you are, or my physical frequency. So, for example, I'm Kulipup, right? If I were if I was not, supreme and whatever consciousness and all that good stuff, if I didn't want to exist anymore, because in these lives we reincarnate all the time, because our energy is infinite, it is immortal, right? We will never die. Our energy is that of Source, is that of the prime energy, right? The universal energy. So it doesn't die, it just gets recycled. But your consciousness is a form of that energy, and it literally, different body, same consciousness, right? So you jump from body to body to body. Now, when you are in Source, or when you are within your normal energy form, right? If you choose that to not exist anymore, because it is always your choice, if you choose this action, then you can have your consciousness just dissolved into the universal consciousness. It goes basically, if you're a heart cell or a brain cell in the body and you choose to not want to be a brain cell anymore, you would get absorbed into the solar plexus, and you're now blank. So now your energy is just going to now be used to create something new, or power this, or create more life. Your energy is just recycled, but your consciousness is no more, right? But that only happens if you choose it. Now, you can be dissolved if you made horrible choices within this game, and the angels of death come and you don't figure out what your lessons were. Then you get put in the line to be dissolved, right? Because it's kind of the way you filter out source fractals that aren't really functioning within love, who have been too heavily influenced and affected by negative energies. So thus, they are more like cancer cells than they are progressive, right? That's one of the reasons why we have the harvest going on right now, is we are weeding out those source fractals who were not able to find the light, right? Who made continuous poor decision after poor decision after poor decision, exercising their ignorance of the facts in the world around them, and choosing to actively go away from their divinity and accept the lies that the negativity has within it. Now, if they didn't learn their lessons, which many didn't, they will go and they will be dissolved. However, to be honest with you, that was how it was. I kind of put an end to that because I'm like, well, no, we don't need anything dissolved going back into the negative energy in this game, because that's not how I play chess, So I kind of got rid of purgatory and where the dissolution comes. And now all source fractals, once you pass away from this life, you will simply go back to source and go through reflection. Now, if you made really, really, really bad choices, it just means that you are not going to be able to participate in any further experiences, right? So you're not going to be dissolved unless you choose to be, but you will literally just not participate in any further experiences going forward. But your energy will still be, you'll still be you, if anything. So, so let's have a look here. So I hope that kind of got that one there. Alexander, I will challenge Kulipup sooner or later. Alexander, that's wonderful. Please, by all means, I am totally happy to accept a challenge if you want to. I will not accept a challenge from your avatar, though. You have to come to me within spirit form, in consciousness form, because that is the only way you're going to have a chance at taking over what it is. And not only that, if you want to wield time and space and all of that, the universal energy, you will have to be elected by the other spirits as well to gain those kinds of crowns. So, you got a lot of work set out for you. But hey, if you can surpass my energy, you can do it, man, then it is rightly deserved. And then Kulipup will take a step to the side, because you will be the new prime consciousness, supreme consciousness, and upon the completion of this universe, you will create another one. Right? And that's always fun. Okay, so, oh wow, that's very cool. All the spirits gave you the crown of heart. Yeah, it is. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Amistral, you said to me, you have the crown of infinite glory, the crown of truth, the crown of wisdom, the crown of knowledge, crown of heart, and the crown of supreme consciousness. Yes, supreme consciousness, infinite consciousness, same kind of thing. So when you said to me, you have the crown, so meaning, yes, I have all of these crowns. I have all of these crowns. You have the crown of you have the crown of glory at the moment for this Matrix game level 1. Now with that though, you can wield a lot of stuff. Okay, how do I learn the understanding of casting spells and understanding of healing? Is that something I just learned from trial and error? Well, you learn in 2 different ways on this, okay? So the first way that you learn about spell casting and so forth is to be interested in it within the material, right? The more interested in it you are, the more you are seeking this information and this knowledge, the more downloads you're going to get. Now, the more you are living in love and light, the more your consciousness will expand, allowing your spirit to enter your vessel. Now, that's when it happens in like a double kind of form, because not only are you now just practicing within the material what it is you've learned, but now your memories are coming back to you in the ethereal too, right? So the thousands of years of experience that you have within healing and spellcasting, okay, the memories will slowly start to come back to you. So you will go more so on feeling rather than the cognitive abilities that you have within your vessel and your avatar at this present time. So it kind of works on like kind of ethereal muscle memory that goes through, and also physical effort in the material as well. So this is where the understanding will come through both. But you always got to trust yourself, though. That's one of the main things. Trust yourself and get rid of all the entities. That will make it a hell of a lot stronger. Or do you have some tips to help me along? Right now, because you want to start with spellcasting. Right now, the best thing that is going to help you is to literally get your mind calm, get your emotions under control. You have to be within yourself. To be a master spellcaster, you have to invoke your will. You can only invoke your will if you understand what it is you are saying, what it is you are commanding. So remember, like a computer programmer with ones and zeros, you gotta know where each 1 and each 0 is going in order to execute the command, right? So now here's the thing though. Ethereally, it all goes by feeling. You have to feel the frequency. You have to feel it and invoke your will over it. So your feelings and your emotions are those 1s and 0s. All right? So if you are not in control of your feelings, your 1s and 0s, you're going to have 1s and 0s programmed all over the place, and your spells aren't going to be as effective. So first things first, the best tip I can tell you about at the moment, Orkay, is to simply ensure that your mind is still. Your emotions are in control. If your emotions are not in control and your mind is not still, that is the one thing that you need to work on right now. Because once you have stillness and once you have control, that is when you can start to focus your attention and your power and your energy in the right places to gain the right results. And it comes on pretty rapidly too. So Stephen, how do we get the crown of glory? Alright, so how you get the crown of glory is, for one, you need to reach a physical frequency level 11 or more. This is very, very important. These crowns of glory can only be achieved if you have enough energy to wield them in the first place, right? So think of in the olden day times when you had knights and, you know, like all of these big guys holding axes that weigh 30 kilograms or whatever. Try swinging that in battle. Well, you can't do that unless you start working out, right? Your body has to be in a physical status before it can even wield the amount of energy that is going to flow through you to use this very, very powerful tool. So physical frequency 11 or more. Now, how do you get up to physical frequency 11 or more? Well, you take care of your body. Put the right things in it. Whole foods, plant-based, doing some yoga, not overexerting yourself or exhausting yourself, keeping yourself clean internally, right? Really, really important. Now, once your body is clean, you need to work out your mind, because you can only get to a physical frequency level 11 if you are mastering the subconscious, right? You need to understand that it is an entity that is ruling your mind. You have to be in total control of your mind, right? So that is what you need to do. Now, because so many people are finding it very difficult to gain this crown of glory, I'm going to simply recommend that you work on your body first. All right? However long that takes, work on your body first, get your body completely healed, and then look to heal your body, of course, and control your mind, and then look at your crown. But right now, if your body's still unwell and you're still going through healing, you got to get that up first, because you can get up to physical frequency level about 8 or 9 before you really need to start working on the mental aspects of it. Once you get from 8 or 9 to 11, I'll say, is when you really start to get the focus and the mental going too, in order to get your crown of glory, right? So there we go. Amishtal, taking over a consciousness sounds like possession. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. That is absolutely well said there, Amishtal. Yeah, it is possession. It is possession at the end of the day. That is why, when you are scared that ghosts and entities, like people are like, oh, I'm possessed. Well, it is because their consciousness was taken over, right? However, a consciousness, if you are possessed by an entity, it means that you are producing enough energy within your own heart to feed this entity, to give them enough energy to possess you in the first place, right? However, to be the supreme consciousness, it's kind of different. It's like, yes, could I possess you? I could, but it will be with love. I'll possess you, and all of a sudden you'll be stressed out, and I'll come in there and I may possess you, and then all of a sudden you'll just feel like chilling out and having some cake. Oh gosh, everybody's gonna want so much cake, I tell you. I have a really hard sweet tooth right now, so if you are like totally feeling cake, chocolate, sugars, any biscuits and everything, yeah, sorry. If these cravings are just coming out of nowhere, it's because I'm just like, But anyway, but yes, it is possession. But like I say, when you are operating out of love, you don't want to do any of that unless it is dire necessary. I will only take over the consciousnesses of energies and so forth if it means that I need to save your life, or I need to do this in order to progress you on in some sort of way. Or, like, for example, I have been known to possess an individual or take over their consciousness in order to rid their vessel of an entity, or to burn things off or anything like that, to keep them protected in a moment where they just need to sit back and calm, kind of like, take the wheel for a second, and I'm like, all right, I'll take the wheel, I'm driving for a minute, you cool, right? Like, you take a rest, but when you're ready, the wheel is back to you, right? So that's where we're going there. Amishtal, well then, before I think about that, I will make sure to be absolutely certain that would be something that I'd actually want. Yes. Yes, definitely, please do, Amishtal. And I know you wouldn't, but that's fine. Sorry, Amishtal is literally right here, and he's like, I don't want to, and I'm like, that's cool, but I'm sure if, so, I will say this, Amishtal, Jessica Amishtal, not Amishtal sitting next to me, if you want to challenge me, sweetheart, you are going to have to convince your incredibly hunky spirit to want to go up against me too, right? So you in that vessel are going to have to convince you in the ethereal to do it as well. So good luck with that. Okay. Onaloco, you say, I think there may be some confusion. There is the crown of glory and then the infinite crown of glory. Yes, definitely. Definitely on a loco. Because again, it's on different levels. So again, the crown of glory, your first crown of glory, is specific to you. It is you as a cell, as a fractal, recognizing that you are who you are, that you are a cell, and that you are a part of a bigger thing, and now you are controlling all of the space within your own world, versus the infinite crown of glory, which is, I'm not just a cell, I am the entire vessel, and I'm controlling the entire vessel, right? So that's basically what the difference is. For those who have confusion over the names, well, we're just going to have to get used to them. You can call them something different if you want to. That's absolutely fine. But they are what they are, though, especially if you are trying to summon them. Because I didn't give these names to these crowns. Well, I didn't give them these names within this vessel that I'm in right now. I was told what these crowns were through my own self, my own cognizance, and when I gained the infinite crown of heart as well. I didn't even know there was a crown of heart until I was told, Kulipup, we are going to crown you with the infinite crown of heart. Right? And I'm like, oh, okay, shit. Like, that's cool. So, bear that in mind too. Okay. Can we all get our crown of glory, or are there only a certain number of crowns available? Okay, yeah, every single person, your matrix level 1 crown of glory, everybody can get that. As long as you are a source fractal, you can get your crown. It is open to absolutely everybody. It is just the other 6 crowns that are open to only one individual. So, first crown of glory, great, everybody has one. Everything else, nope, that is when you are challenging and you are battling for the crowns and the titles of these crowns. Amishtal, dissolution sounds like becoming part of the force. Yeah, kind of. You're just universal energy now. Just like if you had a bunch of little gold specks and then you threw them all in the pot and it all melted down. Well, now you're just part of the energy that's going to make some new structure with the gold. Amishtal, please understand that I'm not arrogant enough to think as knowledgeable as I am that I want to challenge at least you. Others, yes, I have far too much I want to do. Yeah, don't worry, sweetheart. Don't worry. I know that there's a lot of people who aren't ready to challenge me yet, because again, you have to literally come close to the amount of energy I have in the first place, right? And that takes a minute to get that, right? So don't worry about it. Even if you did in yourself, Amishtal, right here, want to challenge me now, like I said, you have to convince the other one to do the same, right? So it is complicated. Okay. So, Amishtal, it says, that's the comment you said to me. I perceived you were saying that about me forgiving my misunderstanding. Oh, don't worry. Yes, you'll have to show me there, Amishtal, because I'm like, I have no clue what that was. Okay, so, bear with me just one moment. Oh, bless it. Well, Alexander, I suppose, let's see. So, Alexander, you've said Kashap to Bara, Kulipup, Dingir, Zu. Well, my friend, if that is what you believe, if that is truly what you believe, then that is fine. It truly doesn't affect me in one way or another. If you feel that it is, if that's how you truly feel, then I wish you well on your journey, my sweetheart. Totally wish you well. There's nothing else I could do. Remember, I've got the infinite crown of peace and serenity, so not much can really bother me in that sense. But I wish you well, and I wish you all the love. Take care, my friend. Oh, and by the way, if you are saying such a thing, especially to myself, it means that my energy is automatically going to deactivate around you. So I'm very choosy like that with my energy. So And you may not care whatsoever, but it basically will not reactivate until an apology is given. So there you go, my dear. Have a good one, though. Okay, so I'm just having a look here. Oh, you're welcome, okay. You're welcome, sweetheart. I'm glad everybody loves cake. Stephen, Kulipup, help me raise my frequency. Oh, Stephen, I totally agree. I would love to help you raise your frequency. Absolutely love to help you raise your frequency. However, it takes two to tango on that, my dear. Right? I want you to look at me as you would look at the game guide when you open up a new game. You know, so for example, let's say you've bought the new Street Fighter for your PS4, and you know, let's say you didn't download it and you actually got the game guide. I am simply the game guide. I can give you the instructions. I can guide you on what to do. It's up to you to actually follow that. If you follow it, great. You're going to see some great results. If you don't and you want to go at it yourself, that's wonderful too. You'll learn a lot, right? So to help you raise your frequency, all I would say is just the information that I'm giving out, my sweetheart, take it seriously and try it. Just try it. Try it for 7 days. Try it for 21 days. Try it for 30 days. You know, if you don't see results and if you don't see a positive improvement within your life, within the way your manifestation comes, within your health, then stop doing it. Simply the case. But it's one of those things where cause and effect. You know, like if you follow some of the words that I'm saying, you know, in terms of how to take care of your body and, you know, the yoga, the exercise, the eating, and so forth, if you follow it, it's basically the result as if you drink water, you get hydrated. You follow it, you get better. Just one of those things. So it's up to you, sweetheart. But I will always be there. And just know that, like, with everybody, I am always there. Always there if you need assistance, because again, you don't get to this place unless you got nothing but pure love in your heart. And when you got pure love in your heart, it feels a sugar load better than any sort of negativity, right? Sugar load better. So, there you go. Virgin, what am I, Kulipup, if you can tell me? Are you asking if you are a source fractal or not? Alexander, you say, am I a source fractal? Is that just because of right this very moment? Yeah. Alexander, I'm going to say, you've asked me, am I a source fractal? Right? Virgin, you are definitely a source fractal. Alexander, I'm going to ask you to look inside your heart for that one. The comment that you made that was further up here, so let's have a look here. Kashaptubara. Kashaptubara, Kulipup, Dingerzo. Now, because you have said that, I will need an apology for that one first. If you do not find it within yourself, or if you do not believe an apology is granted for that statement in any way, then don't apologize. However, if that is the case, I will not answer that question. And I will say, look into your heart if you would like to know what that question, the answer to that question is. However, if you are happy to apologize for that, then we can get back on track, and then I will answer that question for you. Alrighty. Because I practice what I preach, everybody. I do. I do. If something is said that is disrespectful, I do not participate. I do not. I simply do not. But however, if it is acknowledged and you know, looked into and so forth, and the truth is then behold, then I'm happy to proceed. Either way, it doesn't matter. Peace and serenity is all over here. But yes, Virgin, you are definitely a source fractal, my sweetheart. Okay, so is there anything else that I need to tell you in regards to the crowns of glory? At the moment, I believe that is all I have to tell you upon the crowns of glory. If there are any further questions that you have for me right now based on these crowns, please do ask them. If not, then that is absolutely fine. What I will do is I will get online and I will start sharing some of the crowns of glory videos that I had in the beginning. right? As well on my YouTube channel. So, any other questions? Any other questions based on the crowns of glory? If that is a no, right? No other questions. That's absolutely fine. Now, if you did have another question that I wasn't able to get through, or if you missed this part, then please post it to the group wall. Post it to the wall, the discussion board, and I will look to answer that. I will be coming back at you with a few more questions. I had quite a few questions to go through for last night's live Q&A. I only got through half of the pre-written ones. So what I will be doing is I'm going to be back at you live in literally another few minutes to answer some of those excess questions that I missed from yesterday. And, you know, if you also had any questions that you can join me on that live too, because yeah. Anyway, I will be back in literally a couple of minutes. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea, and we'll be with you soon. All right. Mwah. Thank you very much, and I will see you soon. Bye, sweeties.